Shut up, bitch.
Yo, I don't know about you guys, but the Indians are giving off a very strong rebuild vibe, and it really sucks. But you know what sucks even more is when you're wearing a Boston Red Sox hat and Manny Ramirez taps you on the shoulder and you don't even recognize him, so could be worse.
Excuse me. Nice hat. Can I ask you a question? Who's your favorite player? Nice hat.
What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB offseason recap, and today we have to talk about the arch rivals of the Cleveland Indians and how they stole one of my favorite players of all time, Carlos Santana. We're going to go ahead and break that down because both the White Sox and the Royals have gotten maybe not significantly better, but they have improved over the last 2 weeks. And we're going to go ahead and start off with a breaking story. Adam Eaton has just signed a one-year deal worth $7 million with the Chicago White Sox, the same team that just traded for Lance Lynn. So the White Sox are trying to take advantage of the Indians' cheapness and their ineptitude in regards to signing free agents. It is a sad life to be an Indians fan. Let me just say that right now because that kind of sets up the rant that we're going to go on when we talk about Carlos Santana signing with the Royals. But for right now, let's focus on the White Sox recent move. To me, yes, Adam Eaton is an improvement over Angle and Nomar Mazara, but I'm not sure if this makes them significantly better. Like I mentioned, they are improved, but if I'm a White Sox fan, I'm kind of thinking, well, that's fine and all, but $7 million, that could have gone towards someone like Jock Peterson or Michael Brantley. So let's go ahead and break down Adam Eaton real quick because he was not good in 2020, but he was great with the Chicago White Sox back in 2014 all the way through 2016. That is where he really found his home and he became a household name throughout the league because he was a pretty clutch hitter. He could steal you some bags and he played fantastic defense. He actually finished 19th in the MVP race back in 2016. So he was fantastic with the White Sox. He is essentially returning home. But if we take a look at the 2020 stats, I would say he stole $10 million because he was really bad. He got paid $10 million to provide a negative 0.9 WAR for the entire season. He didn't even get to 0.0. He was almost at -1 because he had a 76 OPS plus. If this is your first time hearing OPS plus, the average is 100. He was 24 points below average and he had a -6 defensive run saves in the outfield, and his outs above average wasn't great either. In plain terms, Adam Eaton sucked in 2020. But that's like saying Christian Yelich cannot bounce back. It's a 60-game season. Christian Yelich had MVP years and back-to-back campaigns from 2018 to 2019. And then in the 60-game season, we saw it with Eddie Rosario, we saw it with Carlos Santana, we saw it with Christian Yelich, Cody Bellinger. You have to stop acting like this 60-game season is going to put a lot of weight into the minds of these ball players. They know that over the course of 162 games, 98 extra games they could have played, they would have had more opportunities to correct their OPS plus or their bad outfield play. So again, I wouldn't put too much weight onto the 60-game season. You still have to consider it. That's what a lot of teams are doing right now with Francisco Lindor because he didn't play at an elite level. So unfortunately, the Indians did not trade Lindor at the right time, so that's another thing that we might rant about. Just the problem with Adam Eaton is he doesn't really show signs of being able to improve because he wasn't in the top 10% in exit velo or any of the other important stats that you would consider him to be unlucky. Like Gary Sanchez, he got unlucky. He was hitting the ball super hard. It's just his strikeout to walk ratio was not suitable, and that's really all that you can describe Gary Sanchez. But on Eaton, he was bad offensively. He was bad in the field. The only remote possibility that you can really put faith in right now in Adam Eaton is the fact that he was pretty good with his sprint speed. So you're getting a guy that might not be able to replicate the best years of his career, but he can run fast. So good job, White Sox. I still don't mind the move, but to me, again, I would rather have Michael Brantley or Jock Peterson because at least you know that they're going to be great offensively. Adam Eaton, he is a shot in the dark. I don't know about this one. Carlos Santana had to go and break my heart. He signed a 2-year deal worth $17.5 million. So there is no excuses for the Phillies, for the Yankees, for the Red Sox, for the Brewers, any other club in Major League Baseball to start making excuses that they're poor and that they can't afford players. In the last 2 weeks, the Royals have acquired Mike Minor and Carlos Santana. Yes, they're not the most expensive players in the world, but they still require a chunk of change, at least $7 to $10 million a season for the both of them. And with that, the Indians' rebuild, in my opinion, is about to be in full effect. If we take a look at the last few years, we traded Mike Clevenger, Trevor Bauer, and Corey Kluber essentially because Puig, he's gone. Delino DeShields, he's gone. We essentially traded those 3 superstar pitchers. Trevor Bauer just won the Cy Young. We got Franmil Reyes, we got Emmanuel Clase, who was banned for 80 games, and let's just throw in Cal Quantrill and Josh Naylor, but I don't consider those cornerstone pieces. You're supposed to be getting stars in return for stars, and we haven't gotten that. And the fact that Carlos Santana just left, this is not my Indians. Lindor's about to walk. Carlos Santana is gone, and I get a full rebuild vibe. And if I'm Shane Bieber, I'm looking at the landscape of my team going forward. I am not happy right now. I want to be on a World Series contender. I just won my Cy Young. Now that I've gotten that out the way, it's time to start winning some World Series and get some rings on my fingers. And unfortunately for him and myself and the rest of the Tribe community, Carlos Santana signing a 2-year deal, only $17.5 million. So it's like $8.5 million a season. I don't know why the Indians could not afford that. Just a year ago in 2019, Carlos Santana had 34 bombs and a 136 OPS plus. Remember, the average is 100. He was 36 points above the average hitter. He has played in 154 games on average for the last decade, and he played in all 60 games of the 2020 season. So if you are a Royals fan, you're getting someone that plays pretty good defense. He saved 5 runs defensively, although his outs above average wasn't that great in 2020, but I would consider him a pretty solid defender over there at first base. He can get the job done. He is also otherworldly at picking the baseball. If your third baseman or shortstop makes a bad throw, he is going to pick it almost 9 times out of 10. So to me, I don't like this move. He's going to a rival team. I understand that he was a free agent and he can go wherever he wants, but why did the Indians not match it? Maybe it's because they saw that his strikeout percentage was the highest since 2015 and the OPS was the worst of his entire career. So the Indians are trying to be realistic and think to themselves, well, why would we give $8 million to this guy when he's an aging first baseman, when we can try and go out and sign someone for a whole lot cheaper and try and plug in the holes? Because that's what they've been doing the last couple seasons, as evident by Hanley Ramirez, Carlos Gonzalez, Domingo Santana, all of these guys that used to be pretty good and now they're aging. They try to sign them for bottom of the barrel prices and expect them to have a resurgent year. It's not really going to happen. You've only gotten that from who? Nelson Cruz, who's had a resurgence in his career. You can't find Nelson Cruz on the street. So the Indians are just proving to be completely... Do you trust them? If you are an Indians fan, do you trust them going forward? Because like I said, we traded 3 superstar pitchers for a couple good players and one that didn't even get to play in 2020 because the dude was juicing. And I just want to know everyone's opinion. This is a sad day to be a Tribe fan because like I said, the White Sox have gotten better. Say what you want about Adam Eaton, but as a complete player, I do think that he is better than Adam Engel or any other person that you can play as a full-time starter. Just with that 60-game season, he wasn't good in that stretch, so maybe he can bounce back and show the world that he can be the White Sox Adam Eaton of old. Just like Christian Yelich had a down year, as well as Carlos Santana, I expect him to bounce back. So to me, the Royals with Mike Minor and Carlos Santana, they're not pushing for a World Series anytime soon, but the fact remains they are actively trying to improve, and I can tip my cap and put my full respect in that because the Indians, the Phillies, the Yankees, the Red Sox, all teams that should be improving as we speak right now have not done anything. So no more excuses. Teams are active and they are investing in the 2021 season. There we go. So, I mean, this really makes me sad, but Carlos, thank you for all the years. I can't believe I'm wearing this stupid hat, but I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for always being an excellent role model. Thank you for welcoming my brother and I whenever we came to spring training. He was always the first guy to come up to us and just talk. The absolute GOAT, one of my favorite players in Indians history. The Royals are getting an Iron Man switch hitter that walks a lot and plays pretty good defense. And you know what? 2021 could be a better year for him. It might be a steal. Thank you all so much for watching. If there's anything else that I can cover, I'll try and include in the video. But for right now, stay safe.